Today I'm doing a simple overview of the thumping technique for guitar. Sorry about the weird angle. I just wanted to make sure you got the technique right. So to get started, let's focus on the right hand. First and foremost, palm muting is your best friend with this technique, not just for the sake of your right hand, but as well as your left hand. Obviously, we're going to be using our thumb a lot. What's more important than accuracy with the thumb is control. If you're not used to it, I really recommend you using a metronome when you try this out. So the way you would use it, whether you're using a 6-string, 7-string, or anything else, most of the time you're going to be working with your two lowest strings. In this case, your low E or your low A. So to get started with your low E, you're going to do a downstroke and go and just palm mute. Don't worry about your left hand. So there's your downstroke, and then the hard part is your upstroke. So it's down, up. And it could be irritating at first because the control part with the upstrokes can be irritating, but it just takes time. In conjunction with that, we'll be plucking with your other fingers. So in this example, we're mostly going to be using your middle finger and your index finger. So what you're going to do, as an example, this is just more of an exercise at this point, is downstroke, upstroke, pluck your D, and then your G. And just build speed that way. So the other part of it is your left hand. Now, obviously your right hand's going to be dictating the rhythm and the groove. What your left hand has control of is the variations with the harmonic content with the groove. So the example played earlier, I'm going to play it again, but simplified. So you can see what I'm talking about, what the actual groove is. Harmonically, it's very simple. It's just in B flat major. It descends down, it's stepwise motion. Descends down to F, your fifth, and then it jumps back to your B flat. Your target notes with the groove is, for every chord frame, it's your root and then the 6th degree of that chord. So here it is. So that's the basic groove of it. So now what we're going to do is break down the original example. Do that again, and we're just going to do the first chord frame. So what we're going to be doing is, the first part is just like the simplified version. Now, what the groove or the rhythm is for your right hand, it's this fretted B flat on your 6th fret, downstroke, all palm muted, upstroke on the same fretted note. You're going to pluck your 3rd, and then with your middle finger, you're going to pluck that target note of the 6th degree. And after the 6th degree, what you're going to want to do is hammer onto your octave. And then back to your B. So down, and I'm going to redo that, sorry. So down, up, pluck, 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 hammer on, fret. So that's the basic groove. What's really great about this example is that the groove is pretty constant. So your right hand doesn't need a lot of variation. All the variation can be left to your left hand. So it makes your life a lot easier, but you can do variations with the right hand, but we're going to focus on the left hand for a little bit. And you don't have to do a lot for the variation. So for example, the next frame is an A minor. I'll go ahead and play it. So what I'm doing there is basically the same thing, except every time I hit that target note of the 6th degree, I'm going to hammer onto that octave. mess that one up. And the other thing is that this A string, even though it's it's a chord tone, it's the root, I'm going to go ahead and just omit it, use it as a ghost note to make it sound a little bit more percussive. And then finally, well, not finally, our third frame is in G minor. Now we're going to mess with the harmony a little bit. And the important thing is to keep the groove constant and keep the rhythm going with the right hand. On the left hand, you can start messing with the harmonic content in the groove. I usually try to stick with the root at least. I know we've been going between the root and the sixth. So I'll go ahead and play that third frame. Let me do that again. So what I'm doing is really focusing everything around the root, your G. And all I did is to really add more color is I just outlined a minor pentatonic frame, and that's all I really did. And finally, our last chord frame is our dominant 7, our F. And that one probably had the most variation actually with the right hand. I just kept it simple because the way I like to think about it, we're going to go back to being percussive, going back to that B flat, so it just makes it stand out, makes it a little bit easier to listen to. But yeah, that was my example of the thumping technique for guitar. I know this lesson was very groove oriented. I just felt that that was the simplest way to really introduce it to the channel. I'll probably do a follow-up lesson on thumping with it being more technical and breaking things down a little bit more without letting the groove dictate everything. But until then, thank you guys so much for listening. Please like and subscribe and have a wonderful day. Thank you again.